Hey guys, welcome back. It's Billy, your WildReefKeeper, and sorry, this week I don't have any movement around the tank at the house, so our update video is going to be around aquascaping. So behind me here, this box represents the size of the tank. It is cut out to the exact size, and the post-its here represent the top of the tank. This is going to be pretty much the final design, so let me show you what we've got going on here. All right, so on the tank here, this plateau is towards the back of the tank. So it is the back of a peninsula tank. There's an overflow here. What I'm going to do is use two large Caribsea Archs to meet the top of the water and then house mangroves in the tank, that part of the rock. So that's going to look like this, large piece just coming off of here somehow, coming up. Possibly angled that way. So we're going to see how that looks once it's in the actual tank to be able to connect that, and might have to do some sort of magnet or some sort of hole in the rock. And the other thing we're going to be doing is probably drilling through some pieces, especially that sweeping piece up front, just to make sure that they're stable and they don't move. So this is about the bulk of the structure here. And what I'm thinking, once I get the aesthetic or design that I'd like to see, I'm pretty much trying to factor three different things in. So one is flow. How will I set up the pumps in the tank? And this is something you really have to think about, but kind of dial in once you're in the tank and filling the tank so that you can see how that flow is going to go. But because I have a largely LPS dominant tank, I've kind of kept, you have to consider the needs for each animal that you're going to have in the tank, whether it be fish, other animals, the corals. So LPS coral likes moderate flow, but it doesn't like direct flow. It also lives about mid-tank because of PAR. PAR is just the strength of the light. So it'll be stronger at the top of the tank and then less strong as you go towards the bottom. I have a PAR meter. I'll be dialing in the PAR once we're in the tank, but I have to think of where I'm going to plant things. So since I'd like to do a mixed reef, I'm thinking SPS on the top parts here, where I'll have my highest PAR, and then I left a lot of bulk of the structure in the middle of the tank, both the middle of the tank width-wise and the middle of the tank from top to bottom-wise. So I have a lot of area to plant that LPS on. The reason why I wanted to keep it pretty sandy around the sides is for flow. I've got a 120-gallon tank with over 120 heads of Euphyllia in it right now, and I have barely any sand area. So some of the things that I like I potentially might get a stingray. I really like horseshoe crabs to kind of clean and move the sand around naturally. And they don't have enough room to be in my tank right now, so I don't have any horseshoe crabs anymore. Anyway, what I was also thinking is placement of pumps. So when I have the internal, I use gears. I love them for internal movement. I'll likely have them on the sides here or up towards the top. That has plenty of space to let the flow come alongside the structure, and I'll likely do a return pump here, sending it the other direction. Possibly a pump on the sides where the SPS is going to be, because they like really direct, strong current. So I'm thinking flow, I'm thinking PAR, I'm thinking what animals am I building this tank for to be most successful? Because if you don't think about placement before you build the structure, set up the lights, you might have to modify things later, you might have unhappy animals, and that's why we want to think about all of that being flow, structure, animals, what are their requirements, and then kind of take it from there. But this is pretty much the aesthetic that I want. It might change a little bit as we go into the tank, and at least now I have that all planned out and we can focus on plumbing. So this is the front of the tank, or what you'll see when you walk in the house and up the stairway. The overflow side is the far end of this. And I'll break down what I have here. So this is all Caribsea LifeRock. I have a large Caribsea LifeRock tree here in the center. And these are two large arcs, so large Caribsea arcs just laid on their side connecting to the tree here. I've left one of there's three bars on this structure. I left one off, and I've just used a large LifeRock on the top to connect that down. I've got a smaller arcing piece right here. This is going to be open for negative space. Now this back here is a Plateau, which I put some broken pieces of LifeRock that I had extra underneath there to elevate that a little bit. Now from the back piece here, you're going to see two large arcs that are going to come up towards the overflow and house mangroves, live mangroves there. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this aquascape video. Next week, I'm not sure what the video will be about, but what I have going on is I've got to finalize the design for the sump. We'll be building the sump. We're waiting on, honestly, the house is a little bit behind. We got delayed with electrical. We got delayed with cabinets. Right now are delaying several crews. So by the time we get those cabinets in there, we can have other things moving. It's looking like it's going to be a few months longer until we're able to move into the house and bring all this together. So I'm just going to be pre-planning as much as I can for the tank, ordering the equipment, yeah, stay tuned. This should be epic, and I hope you're enjoying. So be sure to splash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get notified when we have an update on this tank.